Hello, I'm Larry Seidlinger from LCTV, and today, once again, I'm down at the Miles campus of Lincoln Health as we bring you a COVID-19 update and what's going on with this COVID-19 pandemic. We want to thank you for joining us, and today my guest is Melissa Keyport. She is a pediatrician here at Lincoln Health. Ms. Keyport, thank you very much for joining us, Doctor.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk about what's new with our coronavirus vaccine.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about children today. So we're going to jump right into it. I understand there's some good news on the vaccination front for children 12 to 15 years old. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, there's excellent news. Monday evening, there was approval from the FDA for 12 to 15-year-old kids to have the Pfizer vaccine, and that is now being offered to everyone 12 and older.
Is Lincoln Health partnering with schools to vaccinate the students, or is this all on their own? And how is this all going, the big scheme of things, how is this all going to work out?
Yeah, great question. And Lincoln Health, together with Maine Health, is excited to be offering the Pfizer vaccine starting next week through the Lincoln County schools. The high schools are going to be offering 2 opportunities. One for the first shot next week, and then 3 weeks later for the second shot, and that will be offered by Lincoln Health staff and school affiliates in the various high schools starting next week.
So how do parents learn where and when this vaccine is going to be available for the children? Social media? Give us a little update.
There should be letters going out from the schools, and each school has a slightly different schedule, so definitely check with your child's school to see what is being offered. But the first shot will be next week. Each school has a different day that they're doing it, and I believe one school is offering, Lincoln Academy will be offering 2 days because of the hybrid model. So check with the school for all of the details, and including other questions around the consent forms as well that need to be signed by a parent, or if the student is 18 and over, they can sign it themselves.
So just to be clear here, somebody from Lincoln Health will be going to the schools and doing the vaccination right at the schools?
Yeah, that's a good question.
They won't be going to the YMCA like we've been going down to Booth Bay to that Y. The personnel from the hospital, the medical community, will be going to the schools to do the vaccination? So
the answer is yes to all of those questions. So each school has a slightly different arrangement. At Booth Bay, because the high school is right across from the YMCA, the students will be going over to the YMCA just for ease of administration, and everything's already set up there. At Madomic, the middle school and high school students, 12 and over, are going to be in the auditorium there, and there will be school nurses, there will be other Lincoln Health staff administering vaccines, and then Lincoln Academy, that will be, where are they doing it exactly? And that will be at some location at Lincoln Academy, and there'll be 2 different days for that because of their hybrid model.
And when a child has the vaccination, I've been vaccinated, and I know we had to sit 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Will they require the children also to sit for a period of time to make sure there's no reaction?
Yeah, another very good question. Each school is going to be doing it slightly differently. Depending on the size of the space that it's being done in, so in Booth Bay, they'll be able to sit there for 15 minutes. But if it's a smaller space, for whatever reason, we don't want there to be a bottleneck of that part of too many students waiting. So they can go back to their classroom and continue to do whatever they were doing previously. There have been very few incidences of severe allergic reactions.
Of course, they'll be in a controlled environment. If they did have a reaction,
yeah.
There's teachers right there.
Yeah.
They know what they've been through
exactly.
recently. Let's talk a little bit about the vaccine's effectiveness. What does the research tell us in regards to children?
So the information that's been given in the EUA, or the Emergency Use Authorization, talks about the Pfizer vaccine was studied among approximately 2,000 12 to 15-year-olds. 2 groups. One received the placebo, or no medication, no vaccine, and the other was the treatment group. And among the group that got the placebo, about 20 or less was positive for coronavirus, And then in the group that got the actual vaccine, no one got coronavirus. So it's considered 100% effective. And there's also been research about what's called the immune response or immunogenicity. And the 12 to 15-year-old group had a very strong immune response, stronger than the 16 to 25-year-old group. So immune system is very robust in this age group and well tolerated, super effective, and very safe.
So what you're saying is the trials have shown that it's very, very effective with children.
Yes. Very, very effective. And you may be about to ask me this about why kids should be getting vaccinated.
Exactly.
Okay.
You took my name. That's my job to ask the questions.
Because what I was going to say, and one really important reason for 12 to 15-year-olds to be getting vaccinated is one of the variants, the B117 UK variant, is considered more contagious among the pediatric population, among kids. So it's extra important for these kids to be getting vaccinated because there have been quite a few school outbreaks over the last 2 weeks. We're close to 1,000 students who have tested positive in Maine. So it is spreading among this unvaccinated population. And most of the over 50% have been that B117 variant. So extremely important to get vaccinated. And also looking towards the summer, we want to be able to do summer camps. We want to see grandparents. We want to travel. And one of the most important things I would say is if you are vaccinated and you're a close contact of someone who tests positive, you do not need to quarantine for that 10 days.
If you've been vaccinated.
If you've been vaccinated. So that will save you from disrupting all of your plans if you've been a close contact.
Which, if you've been vaccinated, allows you to do the summer camps, the summer basketballs and cheering and all the things that kids are involved in. What type of vaccine is this? Is it the Moderna, the Pfizer, the Johnson & Johnson? What, is there any particular, or is it a mixed bag?
So the Pfizer is the only one that's currently approved for under 18. It was the one that was approved for the 16 to 18, and then just as of Monday, now 12 to 15-year-olds are approved. It's mRNA vaccine technology that prior to the COVID vaccine had not been used in humans, but has been around for quite a number of years, close to a decade. It's been researched and used in animal models. So it's very safe, and millions of doses have been given with very few problems.
So speaking of doses now, is that a 2-shot dose, the same like I got, but mine was Moderna, but the student will have to be 2 doses and it will be the same 28 or 9 days apart?
Well, that's another good question. Moderna was further time between the two. Pfizer's 21 days.
21 days.
We will hopefully give it to many students next week, followed by 3 weeks later, the last week of school, they'll get their second dose. And after the first dose, there is a certain amount of protection, but you really need to get the 2 doses to get that 95 to 100% effective protection.
So this next one is a loaded question. I think you've already answered it. If you had a child 12 to 15, would you have any concerns, or what concerns might you have as a parent of a 12 to 15-year-old?
I would be far more concerned about them getting coronavirus than anything from the vaccine itself. There's much higher risk, as we've seen with 1,000 school cases over the last 2 weeks. That's much more likely than any side effects from the vaccine.
So, Doctor, can we sum it up as we run out of time here? What are the benefits for this age group? And we're talking very young kids to almost adults.
Yeah, the benefits are you can get back to more of a normal life. You can do summer camps, you can travel more easily, you don't have to quarantine if you're exposed. It can be somewhat like February, maybe not February, let's say summertime of 2019, and we can go back to all those activities.
Normal, what a foreign word that we've used.
Can I tell one more important thing
Please
I hadn't
do.
mentioned? So for the school-focused vaccine clinics starting next week, it's not just the students that are eligible, 12 and over. Any family members can also walk into the clinic. So let's say you weren't vaccinated yet and you're a student's grandfather, you can go in there and get vaccinated as well at that time.
That is awesome information.
Yeah, that's super important. And you have to have all your separate paperwork, but you are welcome there as well. And
there's
that'll
no
be good.
charge?
No charge. If you have insurance, you will be billed. If you don't have insurance, it's free.
We've covered a large range of topics here in this little update. Is there anything else you'd like to add to this?
Feel free to reach out to your school to get more information. And to any of the pediatricians, if you have questions, we wholeheartedly support and endorse the vaccine and are really excited to see what summer 2021 in Maine has.
That would be great. Okay, folks, we want a special thanks to Melissa Keyport. She's the MD pediatrician here at Lincoln Health. This has been a COVID-19 update. We haven't done very many of them here lately, but we'll every couple of weeks have an update on what's going on, what's happening in the community. We want to thank you for joining us for this COVID-19 update from the Miles campus of Lincoln Health. I'm Larry Seidlinger for LCTV, and we'll see you back here next time. Thank you.